consolidation on the bigger time frame chart, and it's bounced off that area, hasn't it? Well, hey, Gilles. Sorry, we're taking up your mic space here.
No worries. Hi, how are you?
Yeah,
Morning,
good.
everyone.
Gonna hand it over to you. It's almost 9:30.
Yeah, no, that's fine. No, I'm just listening. I'm bringing up copper futures on my trading view here, and something I don't usually look at. And I've made some changes to my trading view, so I'm just trying to set that up as well. Yeah, good morning, everyone. It is close to 9:30. As I posted in the Discord, moving forward, I plan on starting around 9:30, a few minutes before 9:30, but I'm not interested in trading the open anymore. Even since I've been doing these sessions, I haven't taken a trade at the open. I will be concentrating on futures. And that's where I'm headed. That's where I'm planning on doing most of my trading moving forward. And as far as I'm concerned, the first 30 minutes is price discovery. It's we're trying to figure out what the market is doing, and we're trying to see where the big players are going. So that's what I plan on doing. That being said, if you trade the open, good luck. You know, that's I don't want to interrupt anyone. Obviously, you can mute me while I'm talking. I don't want to be distracting, but this is what I'm looking at today. So 5 things to know before the market opens. So stocks are a little change as investors await more Iran peace updates. The U.S. blockade of Iranian ports in place. Trump says war is close to over, and he posted something earlier this morning saying that China is in love with the fact of what the U.S. is doing right now, and that China's leader is going to give him a big hug once he goes there in a couple of weeks. And the market liked that because it spiked up. I was actually looking at. I was looking at the markets. I don't remember what exactly I was doing, but I just saw this massive spike up. Bank of America and Morgan Stanley, they're sharing their earnings today. Broadcom shares jump on new Meta partnership. Also, I read that Robinhood is moving up today. Makes sense because the PDT rule is being removed in the next month or so. So those are things to look at today. I have not reloaded my economics calendar. There it is. So at 8:30, as far as 3 stars, we didn't have anything in 58 minutes. So at 10:30, we have crude oil inventories, which is a 3 star. So careful if you're in a CL trade around 10:30. This could move the market here. What worked and what didn't work. So what worked is something I want to share. Actually, I've got 3 trades here that from mainly from futures, but we might look at something else as well. So let's bring up my trading view over here. Yeah, don't hesitate to share in the chat. I will try to also look at what you guys are looking at. So Terra Gold is coming into London high. So if we go to gold, what we're looking at here, I do have the sessions here. So it is close to London high. We seem to have seen some selling here at the Asia high. So if we were to put some fibs on here, from here to the bottom, we might be getting into an area of the 50% golden zone here. So this could be an interesting area for a potential reversal from where it's going right now for the continuation down. It'll be interesting what it does at this level. By the way, I've added these yesterday high, PDC, etc. on my chart here. The names are hidden a little bit here, but If I zoom, anyway, that's PDC right here. They're not ideal. They're not perfect yet. I have also added RVol, but I just did it yesterday, so I haven't tested it yet. There's obviously some problems because I'm pretty sure if somebody's got DOS, I would love to see what the RVol is on a ticker like AMD or Apple. I'm going to go to yeah, see, that's what happens if I go to oh, okay, I just realized what the problem is. It works best on a 5-minute time frame. If somebody's got DOS and RVol as an indicator on DOS, if you could confirm with me that the 5-minute RVol is close to 121% right now on Apple, that'd be great if somebody can do that for me, just to help me test it out. I should have done this while I still had my DOS subscription. As far as higher time frames, I took out some of my tickers over here. I want to concentrate on having Qs, SPY, and some futures. So I will not be analyzing every stock because I won't be trading them. But if anybody's got questions on levels, I'm more than happy to share. So looking at the 30-minute right now, we're looking at yesterday's highs all the way up here. So there's not a lot of room to the left. We might be a little bit uncomfortable at this level here on Apple. And then going forward, going lower, yesterday's low is down at 257 here. So it's about a $4 or $5 difference here. In between these areas, I wouldn't be too interested unless we rejected this area again. We spiked up here and then rejected it again yesterday. There is a 30-minute fair value gap from Friday that still has not been closed. So this might be an area of rejection again. But again, there's so much unknown in the markets right now. So who knows what's going to happen in the first half hour. AMD is interesting because if we look above where price is right now, we've got yesterday's low, yesterday's high, pre-market high, and PDC, everything in the same level here. If we were to spike up here and show weakness below these levels, I wouldn't be surprised to make it down to pre-market low on AMD. Again, no trades for me in the first half hour, so it's not something I'm really interested in looking at right now. So let's start looking at the 5-minute. Did somebody took a partial MGC at London high? I'm looking for Asia open now. If we held for, let's look at gold here. So there's, I think, Tarek, you're long gold from pre-market here. So that's a nice move. I'm going to set an alert just above here. I want to be notified if we pop into this 50% zone. So I am putting my, I'm starting the Fibonacci levels at the high of this spike. This is where we started selling, right? We rejected this area, started selling, and then we wicked down here and started buying. So that's the range that I've got right now. This does not coincide with Asia. It's right in the middle of Asia's level, but it does coincide with previous day close. And right now we're just approaching pre-market high. By the way, the pre-market high and low on futures is calculated from 4 a.m. Sorry, I just need to go into over here. And here I need to share something for my students. Here we go and share this. And there we go. Okay, I will take out the sessions here because I'm no longer interested in them. I just like popping them on there sometimes just to see where levels might show up. But this would be an interesting level for me. You know, hopefully it doesn't happen in the first half hour. I prefer not to take anything until 10 a.m. But on gold, this is where, and if I were long, again, not trading advice, not investing advice, but if I were long, I'd definitely be targeting this area over here. Right? Doesn't mean that it can't go higher into the golden zone here. But personally, what I'm looking at is the fact that we were really selling here. We started buying, and these sellers over here, and there's room to the left. Right? There's a lot of room to the left. That's also part of my trade book. A lot of room to the left. Did not want to continue higher. Started selling. Then we started buying. This could just be a pullback to grab more sellers for the further move down. Now, if I were to take a short here, I would be first eyeballing the low of the session, right? The low of pre-market over here. And it could go further, but I would try to get 3R before getting over here. Now, if it's too tight and I can't get 3R, then I won't take it. Okay, so that's my analysis on gold. Like I said, RVol, I'm not sure if it's working properly yet. What I'm hoping to build out is an RVol that calculates the average volume over the last, I think I've got it for 20 days right now. Yeah, and it prints green if it's above 80%. But like I said, I'm still working on it. I haven't shared this one publicly yet. But these other levels, the pre-market high, pre-market low, PDC, yesterday high and yesterday low, those seem to be working for me right now. And I have shared it publicly. So if you want to use that indicator, feel free to do so. Okay, so very interested in what's happening in gold right now. I'd be really curious to see what happens once we get in here. 9:41, still 20 minutes for me to, and I'm not saying I will never take a trade in the first half hour, but I really prefer to wait. And the reason I took a trade this morning was because it's slower. It's just slower in pre-market, and things seem to work well once things are slow. Avi, I know, is the same. He prefers to see these moves happen when the market's a little bit slower. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything here. There you go. That can be.
These are the levels I was talking about, Gilles, like maximum to 48.60. I think this is the high range of this golden zone.
Can you repeat what you said? The what level?
I'm looking at these levels also. This is London. This is Asia opened at 48.60.
48.60.
Yeah, 61.
Okay, let me go over here. Okay.
The opening of the session. This is.
Yeah. Let's take these out. There we go. The open right there, right?
Yeah.
Is that it? Sorry, the opening of the session is the 61.8 on my Fibs over here. So very interesting. So is that what you're aiming for in your long?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, good luck. That's a nice long so far.
I took it late, actually. I took it after the consolidation, the sideways consolidation. I bought it 48.37.
48.37
sideways
here, and then break above.
I took it in this sideway. Yes.
Right around here.
Yeah.
9:15 area. Yeah, broke out. And this is definitely something that could be a breakout and retest. Right. So there was a consolidation here. Let me take the trade sessions out. I'll just put this back and this back. There we go. So there was a consolidation in this area, and then we broke out of it. For me, not a lot of room to the left because we were just there in pre-market. So it doesn't match up to my trade book for a breakout and retest, but it could be breaking out of this consolidation area on a smaller time frame, retesting, and the break above 48. What's the high of this candle here? 48, 40. Right. So right above here will be interesting. If it's a sweep, which is what I saw on MCL this morning, where I took a 4.7 hour trade this morning. If there's a sweep up here, those are the types of trades that I like to take. If it's a quick move up and a rejection of this area, then I would for sure take the short for the move back down here. But I have to see what it is I want to see. And right around this level over here, 48.54 area, 55. If it could sweep into here and reject, especially the PDCs right here, that's where I'm going to be paying attention. Right, I'll be right back. I need something to drink. There we go. Hopefully, I just saw that on Discord. I am using the wrong mic on Google. Please let me know if my mic is choppy. I'd be curious to know. Somebody's showing up at the front door. Everything's happening at once. So what I want to do right now is look at MGC. That's what we've been looking at. I want to calculate if it were to spike up here, and my thesis would be to take a short if my pattern shows up. I want to see how many shares I would take. So let's look at my positioning chart. There we go. So the product is MGC. Let's make it a little bit smaller. And let's go over here. All right. So we obviously don't know what the levels are, but if I were to get in and have a very conservative stop, it would be a one above the 61.8 level. So 48.62 would be my stop. 48.62. My entry would likely be below the 50% here, probably even below PDC. So 48.50. So entry would be 48.50. This tells me on a $50,000 account, risking 1%. If I wanted to risk 1,000, let's say I just put in 1,000 here, and then I'd risk 2%. But I'll leave it at 500. This tells me to short 4 contracts. It's a rough calculation because I don't know what the actual levels are going to be. But in my mind, I've got an idea of how many contracts I'd like to short. And if my target, let's say, is the bottom of the range here, 48.10, then I can put that in here, 48.10, and it tells me that it would be approximately 3.2R. Entering over here with the wide stop and targeting the bottom of the range. Now, that's if I decide to put my stop at the top of the range and if I enter below PDC. Now, it'll depend on how things play out. over the next little while. And that's why I like planning it out before. I know that right now it's approximately 4 contracts. If I get a tighter stop, it'll be more than 4 contracts. And if I was only aiming, and with the Top Step Combine in one of my accounts, I am only aiming to make 1 or a little bit more than 1 R, then I can go much higher than this. I can go, 10 contracts and just aim for a 1-to-1 ratio. The only reason I'm doing that is because of the drawdown rules on the Combine. It's different than what I usually trade, and it is the reason I got out of this trade this morning. I took this trade and I got out because I was already at 4.7 R, and it's silly, but you can't have too much of a big trade because Top Step will not count it in the Combine. So that being said, I've got my alerts set in MGC. I will replay what it is that I was seeing this morning. I don't want to take this out because it is the exact levels, but what I will do is take out the Fibs. So I started looking at I started looking at price action this morning, just after 5 a.m. I saw that we had played around PDC here, but then there was a big volume spike. We can see it here, and we really started buying here. So I was going, you know what? That is an impulse move. This is, let's put in fair value gaps, and let's replay just because these fair value gaps here have been removed. So let's replay and let's start looking around here. So we can see that this was a big impulse move higher. So I am going to move up a bunch of candles. There we go. I decided to put my Fibs at the low here, and then this is where it started reversing, right? This is where pre-market high was put in, and it started selling. This wicked all the way down. Usually I don't like entering when it goes down so much, but this was such an obvious sweep. It was a liquidity sweep. It went right back down and then put in a green candle that closed above the 50. And then the next candle here was a little bit of an indecision, but I figured if it goes above the high of the sweep candle, I'm in with a stop below the previous 5 minute. And that's exactly what I did. And shortly after, it reached my 3-hour target. My initial target was right above here. But what I do is I'll put my stop way up ahead if I'm actively managing it. And then I'll move it down depending on price action. So I actually probably would have taken it off right here once this wicked up, but it happened so fast. I was moving my my stop below these levels here. Once we put in these, a little bit harder to see. Well, we don't need this anymore. We'll leave it there. We can see these 2 candles wick down here. So I moved my stop below this, and then we just spiked up over here. And once it spiked up over here, this is where I took my my profit. So it ended up being around 4.7 R trade. It was in the Top Step X account, so it's a simulated trade because I am still working on the Combine for a few accounts. So anyway, that's what happened with Crude this morning. Now, if I were looking at Crude, and I will be because we're approaching 10 o'clock, I would be taking out this information here, and I'd be saying that the latest impulse move was from this top. We're selling, right? From here, we are selling. And this right here at 7:48, this candle was Trump's tweet or whatever you want to call it, about the Iran war being pretty much done, China being happy with them, etc. This is where I would put my Fibs for this morning session. Right? So this is where the selling started. You know what? If this right here, look at where, ignore what's on the right-hand side here, but if this were the Fibs at 750, look at how it went right into the golden zone. And look what happens once we lost the 50 again. We put in this big fair value gap again. So this would have been a short. Let's put it in again. I wasn't looking at it because I had already made the 4.5 or 4.7 arm, but put this in here and aim for 3. And there you go. The golden zone would have worked again. But now that we've made new lows, there's two things we can do. We can look at this area here, and I could put an alert to see, do we come all the way back here? Or I could move this down to where we had pulled back up and then rejected here and started selling again. So this is where the Fibs are subjective. Right? From this area, we're really approaching the 50. So what you can do is look at it. Right? Will this 50% retracement here, will this one be the anchor? Will it, and you can tell by the way it reacts to this level. So we've got these 2 wicks right here. I'd be curious to see what happens at this level. If not, this might be the level. Right? Or we might have wicked into it already. Right, so that's the subjective part of these Fib levels. Again, RVol is not verified yet. I need to tweak it. I just did it last night pretty quickly. But if I go to Apple, see, Apple looks reasonable. Right, 115, 116%. Tony, I have a faster way to that, Gilles, in TradingView. After one of these sessions, I could walk you through. Yeah, Tony, let's talk after the session. Not quite sure what you're saying about the faster way. A way to kind of auto-calculate the number of contracts based off of stop-off location and money risk, almost like the fixed risk hotkey in DOS. Of course, a bit slower, but works well. Awesome. Let's talk about that, Tony. And after the session and whatever you share with me, I'll share it with everyone tomorrow. What does the goal look like? Oh, my alert did not go off, and because it hasn't hit that 50 yet. But some people are going to say, well, does it need to hit exactly? Well, no, because these levels are not to the penny. Right? Did I put this exactly at the right spot here? It's a general area. Being in this general area, you can see that we're starting to slow down. We're starting to figure out what are we doing at this level. So I really want to see it punch up. I want to see it get into this level and reject. And I will leave this on screen right now. I have to go talk to somebody who just came in. So I'll be back in a few seconds. Watch it happen right while I'm away. It is approaching 10 a.m. So this could happen very shortly. There you go. So there's the alert. What I want to see, I'm just going to bring it up on my top step here. It is at this level of rejection from this morning. I'd prefer to see it take that out. Here you go, set another level there. Right, I'd like to see it wick up and possibly reject, and then possibly put in, I'm going to go to the 2-minute now, possibly put in a rejection candle and a move lower. So let's see. I'm not going to walk away right now. Anybody else? MES coming back to retest London high. Let's look at MES. I still have my alert here. Wow, I don't know why that zoomed in so much all of a sudden. So we've got pre-market high here. There's definitely some room to the left here. As far as sessions are concerned, yeah, that is the high of the London session. It's also the high of the New York session right now. We are right at Asia high at the moment. We are on a 5-minute time frame. One of the patterns that I like to look at here is if it came up here and rejected again, it could be considered a bit of a double top, right? It's just rejecting. So the only trade I would take over here, and let me get rid of too many drawings in here. There we go. And this was a trade from yesterday I said I would talk about. I'll leave it there for now. I can't really see a fib, maybe from the low. Yeah, I guess from the low here is where we really started buying. So if we started buying at 630 and rejected over here, we did come into the golden zone. And because it's in the first half hour, these wicks and these candles are huge. So personally, I'm not interested in taking a long here. I mean, that's what worked 2 days ago over here when I was saying I wasn't interested in taking a long. This fib over here worked perfectly well, and it ended up being a massive move over the last few days. But I mean, at some point, we're going to have to pull back a little bit and retrace. We don't have to. I mean, that's just historically after some big moves, there's usually some profit taking that happens. So yeah, that's what MES is doing right now. What's gold doing? Might be rejecting over here just for the way that I like to trade it. This is not a rejection of the area as far as what the candles are showing me right now. For it to be a rejection of the area, let me draw on here. If my pen tools want to show up, there they are. There you go. So what I'd like to see is a candle spike up in here and reject. This is what I want to see. I want to see a candle like this, and then the next candle on the break of that candle, right? This is wishful thinking here, but on the break of the low of that candle, stop would be up here, entry would be over here. Target, with the account that I'm using right now, target would only be 1-to-1. So we're down here, right? So that's what I'm looking for on GC, and it is after 10 a.m. So if this were to show up, sorry, I can't find my words, then I might take it.
It's good that I got out at 52.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
I got out of my long gold at 48.92, and now it's
28, sorry, 92?
48.52.
52. Oh, okay. Yeah. Are these the same levels that you have, Tarek?
Yeah, it's at this level, this area, it was consolidation towards the low of the day. I was looking for 48.60, but the price action on the smaller time frames, on the 5 minutes, it's very uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
It's very hesitant. There's like the pullbacks are too deep.
Yeah, it's approaching this zone here. That's what price does, right? It's, I mean, there's so many traders use these levels, not necessarily the golden zone, but the 50%. Right, so this area here from where we started selling, obviously, this one I'm really not concerned with. It was the, what was it, MES here that I was a little bit more concerned of where to put the fibs. But for this one, I'm not concerned at all, because this is where obviously the selling started. And then now with this long wick, this is where we started reversing, started buying. So this is the 50% between here and here. So this is where we can absolutely expect price to slow down or spike up fast just to get out of this area. So interesting area. I will look for my actual candlestick pattern. If it doesn't show up, I won't take it.
The price action on gold, it's been really tough.
Everything, Tarek. The price action on everything has been very, very difficult to read. I've only been looking at futures again for the past couple weeks, but you get these massive spikes, right? Because somebody is tweeting something, right? So
Yeah.
it didn't affect gold, but MNQ this morning, I don't know where my MNQ went. Let's just put it here. MNQ, there we go. Look at this spike here. Right? Look at this spike. This is not normal behavior but this was on a Truth Social post. I know, because as soon as I saw this spike, was okay, what happened? Went to my phone and sure enough, something was posted. So imagine having shorted over here and having your stop below. You're pretty far away, you know, you're safe, and then poof, your stop's taken out.
Yeah, it's been challenging lately. I took a long on MNQ also, 914. And just I took a partial at 26.40, and then it took me out.
Yeah, well, look at these candles.
Yeah,
these are massive candles. And this, just these candles right here, let's draw a rectangle. This is the reason I don't trade the first half hour. There's so many other opportunities. For me, it works because I don't have to be here. I know there's a lot of people that have to get their jobs, especially people on the West Coast. You know, they wake up, trade at 6:30 in the morning. They can trade till, you know, 7:30, 8 o'clock their time, and then they get ready for work. But for me, I can be in front of my computer all day if I want. So that's why I've decided, especially with futures, to not trade this area. I will take trades in the pre-market, and I will take trades in the evening after 6 p.m. But the 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., I will not trade either, because it is the opening of that session. We still don't know who's in control. We don't know where price is going to go. We never know where price is going to go. But in the first half hour after 6 p.m. Eastern, I usually don't take a trade either. And again, it's just something that I've recently gotten back into. What's going on with gold? I pulled down, right? Might have caught some shorts over here. That might be stopped out because their stop is right above here. Right? If somebody shorted that, okay, we're into the 50%, let's short, and then they take their short over here, and then we might be wicking them out. So hopefully I can record my screen. I wish I had recorded my screen this morning on the move that I took in pre-market at whatever this move was here. Because the liquidity sweep was so obvious. I can't remember exactly what time it was anymore. Oh, it was this. It was this candle. You could see that it was just wicking down, and then poof, poof, started making its way, continuing up, right? Because that's the move. It's going up, pulling back, going up, pull back into the 50, and then went all the way up here. So one of these days I'll catch the exact move and I'll save it just so I can share it, what it is I'm actually looking for. And if anybody's looking at shares, that's some ticker that they're looking at. I know Evo usually shares with me these different stocks that he's looking at in the morning. Please don't hesitate to share, and I'd love to see where the levels are and what it's possibly doing. AMD, some people might call it a double top. Yeah, it came from the low over here, but it was just chopping in this area before. So yeah, not the ideal double top, right? Room to the left. We're just there, all these levels yesterday. But if we reject strong again, and we have another candle that closes below PDC, below pre-market high, yesterday high, this could be a retracement back down to the low of day. Right. So this could be an interesting setup happening here.
And normally, I saw a couple of videos for SMB Capital. They call it the second day play.
Yeah.
When something moves up and it remains in the higher 25% quartile of last day range, which was my trade idea towards the NASDAQ this morning, because we've been ranging all Asia and London in 100 points range. So
Yeah.
not for the Qs, for the MNQ.
There you go. Let's go over here.
This is 13 minutes.
No longer. There we go.
Yeah, so see, we just did a move up, and like a move up, we couldn't sell. They tried to sell it overnight. It wasn't selling, and then it rejected. Put a bullish engulfing at 5:30, and after that it started to make a higher high, a higher low.
Yeah.
This is where I was like, that's why I took it 9:15, and I think it will still go, like, it's my personal opinion.
Yeah. Yeah,
But,
there's definitely room that we have not been here in a while. But look at where it is right now. Look at how we wicked here, couldn't make it up above here. We have made it up above. But at the end of the day, we need to find buyers above here. So let's put a level here. And let's see how it reacts. Let me do this a little bit quicker. There we go. See how it reacts to this level here. Do we get a 30-minute that closes above here again? If so, then yeah, we might be continuing. The SMB, is it a trade book for a long or a rejection?
for a long.
For a long, okay.
Yeah, I saw it on the YouTube.
Yeah, well, I've heard of it. Actually, I saw Bella. Those that were in Vancouver. Was it Vancouver? Or no, it was in New York City a couple years ago. Bella, the author of the book and Founders, he had explained that in a live session, had explained that setup. And it's very, very interesting. Not something that I necessarily trade. But there's so many different setups that it's hard to pin it down to what works for you. So yeah, he was a very interesting individual. If anybody else was at that New York session, let me know. 2020, summer of 2023. And we got to do a tour of the NYSE as well, which was very interesting.
I remember I saw the videos for that and the Instagrams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For photos.
Yeah, I don't have any photos on my computer here. My trading terminal, I keep very, the only thing I do on here is work on trading and the tools that I create. So I don't even have pictures on here. Otherwise, I would, yeah, I would share a picture of that day. I've got a picture of Mike Bellafiore. Mike? I think it's Mike.
I'm not sure about his first name, but
Yeah.
I really like the guy. The way the videos, how they're structured, these guys they're really up on their game.
Yeah. Mike Bellafiore, where's the, I just saw the book. Did I see the co-founder of S&B Capital? His book, One Good Trade, is very interesting. Very good book. And yeah, they're as whenever I think about prop firms, I always think of SMB. They're, you know, one of the first ones in the game. And they're an actual prop firm where they actually hire traders and train them, and interesting business model they've got. In another life, had I known about this in my 20s, I absolutely would have moved to New York to do my best to try to work with them. It seems like an incredibly good opportunity. Yeah, these rejections, sorry, I was just going to say that these wicks over here are really rejecting the 50. Very tempted to go short here, but I would prefer to see a wick take out the liquidity that's above here, right? So I'm going to be patient, and it could just drop from here, but I don't trust it unless it actually takes out the liquidity up here. Sorry, what were you going to say, Tarek?
It's really interesting about S&B Capital. It's a really good place to be in. I can imagine all of us, like traders, all the people in the room sitting in one office and just going for coffee, like a coffee, or sharing our discussions live. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I wish I knew trading also much earlier in my career.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you.
I've been following the markets for 30 years. I've been involved in the markets since the 90s. But I was not trading per se. I was more of an investor back then. I did try trading early in my career, and it didn't work out well for me. I was working full time, you know, it wasn't my priority. But yeah, I've been interested in the markets since the 80s, since I was a teenager. And, you know, I used to look at newspaper clippings and follow. So yeah, had I been born later and, you know, and if I was in my 20s now, I would absolutely have loved the environment that we're in right now. So we took out the liquidity above these two wicks. So whoever went short over here, they were taken out right here. It did not set off my alert, but my alert was randomly placed. Right, so I'm going to take out the alert, and I want to see what happens here. Right, do we really start selling? It's not obvious yet, so I'm taking my time. Here you go, MGC at this level here. A minute. It did take out liquidity here. All right, do we get a 2-minute bearish candle? Not enough of a wick into this area. Did we take out these? What was the high of this candle? Sorry, let me zoom in here. What was the high of this? High of that candle, 48.54.30. 48.54.20. So there's still definitely some liquidity above the wick here. So not ideal for me yet. And if we were really selling, you would see it. You'd see it in the price action. It would just start tanking. Again, not trading advice. This is just what I am looking at. 10 more minutes and I'm going to be logging off. And this, if I do log off, I will set an alert. Actually, I'll set it right now. Set it right at this wick. I want to see it test this area again. See what's happening on MNQ. MNQ and rather bring it. This could be a rejection of the highs. Look at how it's spiked up. If it makes a new low, we could be dropping. First target obviously would be this level. After that, PDC. PDC is the magnet. So I'm going to set an alert here. I want to know if MNQ loses this. If so, I just want to start looking at it. MES, we started buying and then rejected, came into the 50. Now we are making a new high. Right? If it were to reject again, I'd like to be alerted if it comes back down into this area again. Right? The bulls are obviously in control, but are they still in control right now? They've been in control the last few days. We are approaching all-time highs again. You know, incredible. Absolutely incredible. But before getting there, we probably have to come back and get more liquidity, find more buyers lower. Sorry, what?
I think it's a short covering rally. I read somewhere that institutions were heavily short.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I can imagine. Can imagine that they were short. However, after the move, right, if you're going to be short from this area, right, if you're shorting from this area, at a certain point, you got to take profit, right? This was an obvious area to take profit, right around here. And then we're moving down. Where did they think it was going to go? Well, maybe they were thinking that it would come all the way down here, you know, and it still might. Still might. Once we make it to the highs again, one of two things is going to happen. Well, one of three things. Either it's going to start making new highs and continuing, or it's going to consolidate and chop, or it's going to reverse and come back down. And if it does reverse and come back down, I would not personally, I wouldn't be surprised that if it did come down and retest these levels. But it's also going to be news related. It's going to be dependent on earnings, and earnings are coming up in the next week to the next couple weeks. We are going to see earnings coming in from the big tech companies, from everything, but especially the big tech companies. And traders want to know what is happening with those companies. So, yeah, this is a pretty incredible move as far as the weekly is concerned. Look at those candles, right? 1, 2, 3 weeks to take back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 weeks going down. Usually it's the opposite. Usually it takes a long time to get up, and then we take the slide all the way down. Now it's just popping up. So this move over here is phenomenal, but it's likely to pull back, right? Because the move was so quick. So again, not trading advice, not financial advice, just what I see in the markets. What's going on with gold? Just chopping around in here. All right, just chopping around. There's a little bit of a 2-minute fair value gap here that's being respected from pre-market. What is that? Pre-market high. Right there. I got to make these a little bit bigger. I need to make the text a little bit bigger. I'll do that after I log off. What time is it? Another 5 minutes, and I'll be taking off. And again, if something happens here, I'll share it tomorrow. I'll share it in the trade screenshots as well. With 5 more minutes, I just figured I would share yesterday MNQ golden zone long at 10:04. MNQ at 10:04. This one right here. Right, we started buying right here, right at the open, started reversing there, came down, touched, these are not perfect right now. If I were to put it perfect, it came and touched perfectly at the 50. I did not take this, but if you look at the 2-minute, there we go. Look at the 2-minute. Touch. Long. Stop under the wick. 3R shortly after. But if you're willing to wait and you see that the market is still continuing, this was a, if you closed it off at the end of day, this was a 12-hour trade. If you can manage it properly. So that was one that I saw. What was the other one? MES golden zone long at 2:30. Take this out. MES at 2:30 yesterday. So this one here. This one, I drew the fibs from this area over here. We consolidated, broke out, and then retested, and then started buying again. So this is where I drew the fibs, went to the top of the range right here, came down into the zone. Or was it here? Yeah, it was right here. It's right here that I put it in. I mean, whether you put it there or even right here, again, this is subjective. It's something that you have to do, and see, is it being rejected? Is this zone, the short here, is it being rejected? And it did reject. It put in higher highs here, right? So this one worked as well for 3R. And then what was the last one? The last one was to MCL short at 11:18 yesterday at 11:18. There it is. And this was from the open. It started selling, started buying right here, pulled back into the golden zone, and you can tell that. Look at those wicks. Look at these, just trying to make it up there, trying to make it up, trying to make it up. And then all of a sudden you see it in price action. You see that it just, poof, it just gave up. So entry there, 3R here, made it to much more than 3R, 7. So anyway, that's what I was wanted to share for that strategy. Still very curious to see what's going to happen with gold over here. If something comes up, I'll share tomorrow. It is close to 10:30, so I'm going to log off. Thank you, Tarek, for your input and for being on the mic. I appreciate it. Always appreciate it when there's questions and participation. And please don't hesitate if there's stuff that you want to say. And if you're disagreeing with something that I'm saying, please don't hesitate. I've got broad shoulders. Well, actually I don't, but I can take it. And I'm curious to have a discussion always. So that being said, I'll be back tomorrow morning, 9:30. I'm not starting at 9:15 anymore. And I'm going to be doing similar to what I'm doing right now. If this trade works out, if I do take something else, I will post it in the Discord and I'll share it during the session tomorrow morning. Okay. Merci beaucoup, Ali.
Merci, monsieur.
Et puis merci, Tarek. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Okay. Have a great day.